Perfect.
Hey, what is going on YouTube? This is Tylord, and I am finally back with more Let's Play a World of Warcraft, The Burning Crusade. This is episode 36, and we are starting off this episode with a banger. I'm here at the cave just outside of Zethgor, where technically we are at Zethgor, and we're going to be taking on Grillok Darkeye, who we have the quest to kill and loot his eye, but he's not an elite. I think the quest is technically tagged as a group quest, but Grillok himself is not elite, so you don't have to worry about that. He is, however, usually flanked by a couple of also non-elite mobs, these Bleeding Hollow Grunts, 2 of them, which as a priest, it was easy for me to not have to worry about fighting them while taking on Grillok myself, simultaneously, like 3 mobs at once, because priests have mind control. So I just mind controlled them one at a time, made them fight each other until those mobs died, and then as you see here, I was taking on Grillok by myself, 1v1, mono e mono. So there's that quest, all done, all squared away, all tucked away, and it gives us a blue. I think our very first Outlands blue. Actually, no, that's a lie, because I already got a couple other blue random world blue drops, like these right here, Leggings of Concentrated Darkness. I also have the Blade of Trapped Knowledge, which I'll be able to use starting next level. Now the Gold Weave Tunic, which I will go and turn in after I do another couple quests that I have in my log here, is a slight upgrade over the Whispering Tunic. It does have, like, I'm losing a little bit of intellect, stamina, and spirit, but in exchange I'm getting almost a double spell damage, and then plus 14 spell critical strike rating, which as a priest, as a shadow priest, that is very, very good. So we're gonna run around the Legion front here and run around the little Alliance encampment that was just around the corner, and we're coming all the way over here to Void Ridge excuse me, where I have the quest Void Ridge to collect 40 Void Ridge soul shards. Now this quest in particular is a bit of a nuisance, an annoyance, if you will. The collapsing Voidwalkers I don't think are as, well, never mind, I was going to say aren't as bad to fight as the, there are some Voidwalker mobs that are called, like, I think it's these vacillating Voidwalkers. Maybe I was thinking of a different, I thought there was a third type that were really annoying, that were like, more of like a shaman type of mob, but they were Voidwalker. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. So at most, I think each of these Voidwalker mobs will drop somewhere between, well, there's always a possibility that they drop 0, but I would say between 1 and 4 shards. I think it's either 3 or 4 is like the maximum amount of shards that they'll drop. So you're going to have to kill at least, I would say at least 13 of them. If you're lucky, it'd be about 13 or 14 of them. But the way my luck goes, you know, you never know how many I'm going to have to kill. So I'm going to cut away now. I'm going to do this quest off screen. After this, I'm going to run back to Spinebreaker Post, because this is where I picked up this quest. And luckily, as a priest, every 3 minutes, we will be able to avoid being feared at least once. And you see here, it's trying to collapse, and I think what happens is when it starts casting collapse at about 20% health, or maybe like 10% health, if it collapses, I don't think it like destroys itself, and you aren't able to loot it and gather the Void Ridge soul shards. So it's really annoying fighting these mobs. But yeah, I'm gonna cut away now. I'll meet you back at Spinebreaker Post, where we can turn in the 2 quests that we'll have done, and then pick up the follow-ups from there. So see you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, we are back here at Spinebreaker Post. Let's turn in first the quest Grillok Darkeye, and we will get to the Gold Weave Tunic. Ooh, very nice, very nice. And a sizable chunk of experience. Very good. And our critical strike chance goes up a whole percentage point. That's insane. That is amazing. So here's the other quest, Void Ridge, and then we do get a follow-up to that, which is From the Abyss, where we need to go back and kill Void Baron Galaxis and collect his soul shard. So I think I might as well just go do that. Void Baron Galaxis, it doesn't really show up. I don't think it's ever really shown up on my quest helper before, but it is over back here at Void Ridge, all the way the very southeastern part, the southernmost and easternmost part of Void Ridge, kind of where these two floating rocks are out there. So I'm going to cut away. I'll meet you over there. We will go kill the Void Baron. Alrighty, so once you are all the way over down here at Void Ridge, where these two little, in between these two little crystals, there's a collapsing Void Walker right there, but I think we can avoid aggroing him as well. Let's go ahead and use the Warp Rift generator that we got from the quest giver. Activate near the Void Stones, these two stones right here, to summon the Void Baron along with Void Baron Galaxis, who is himself a level 63, non-elite, but the two servants actually don't have too much health themselves, so even if you don't have any AoE, even if you're more of a single target class like a priest, like a shadow priest, not too bad. And they don't actually despawn once you kill the Void Baron himself. I'm going to be make sure to loot him before I take care of these servants here. So the two servants themselves had about 1,200 health apiece. The Void Baron had, it was about 5,500. So all things considered, all told, not that tough of a fight. Even for me, a Shadow Priest who struggles with multi-target fights because we don't have anything like Mind Seer. That spell was added in later in Wrath of the Lich King. And I think, do we even get, I think the only AoE ability priests get, I could be wrong here, is Holy Nova. Other than that, you can mass dot your targets, throw Vampiric Touch and Shadow Word Pain on all your targets, but other than that, in the Holy Tree, you can get Holy Nova, but can't really use that with Shadow Form, can you? No, you cannot. So I'm going to cut away again, and I'll meet you back at Spinebreaker Post to turn this quest in. Alrighty, let's go ahead and talk to Ogath the Mad. Have you destroyed Void Baron Galaxis yet? Indeed I have, and I think I'm going to go with the Rod of the Void Caller here. It is a staff. Now compared to the Staff of the Twin Worlds, it actually, the stats, this I would say is more for like a Warlock, especially a Warlock, or a Mage, maybe. Whereas the Staff of the Twin Worlds is more well-rounded for pretty much any class, because it has, every stat a spellcaster needs. Stam, Int, to a lesser extent, Spirit. And I'm not a healer, so I don't really need Spirit too much. But the Rod of the Void Caller I'm going to go with as more of an offensive spellcaster because it has, it does have a little bit less Int, no Spirit at all, way more Stamina, and in exchange for 5 less spell damage, you get 18 more spell critical strike rating, which is basically another whole percentage point. So we're going to see our critical strike chance go from 10.62 all the way up to 11.8. So goddamn, our critical strike chance just at the onset of this episode has gone up 2 whole percentage points. Now I'm going to cut away. Is there any more quests to do at Spinebreaker Post, or I might have just completed my last quest with Spinebreaker Post. I forgot, I'm just neutral. Oh my gosh. Okay, so since this character is not the exact same tune that I created and started playing on all those years ago on Excalibur WoW, and this is a brand new tune that I boosted to 58 to continue playing in Outlands immediately. All of my outside of Silvermoon and I guess now Undercity, I am neutral with all other Horde factions. That's pretty funny. I think I'm going to head over here and do this quest, Condensed Voidwalker's Gone Wild, which is a very fun quest name. So I'll cut away and see you guys over there, and then we'll continue questing in... I haven't been to Falcon Watch yet. Once we go to Falcon Watch, we're going to have a whole slew of quests that open up on the western side of Hellfire Peninsula towards Zangarmarsh, so I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I actually have stopped over here at the Expedition Armory, a place where I've already quested. I've already done the quest here. There were a couple of them, I believe, or at least one, to kill all the Unyielding Knights, the Unyielding Footmen, and the Unyielding Sorcerers. And here's the kicker, The Unyielding Knights, even though I did kill, I think it was about 8 of them for the quest, they drop an item that never dropped for me. And I always thought that as a horde, there was an extra quest around this area that I didn't do yet, and I was kind of curious about what it was. So I looked it up, and the Unyielding Knights actually drop this item. It's called the Mysterious Tome. That begins a quest. So let's go ahead and start this quest, Decipher the Tome. We need to bring it back to an NPC here, over here at Spinebreaker Post, Althen the Historian. So let's go ahead and talk to him. He's an undead bro, and he's we're gonna give him the book, and he's gonna decipher it for us. I've studied ancient history my entire unlife. Oh, very clever. So we need to take the Unyielding Battlehorn from Lieutenant Commander Thalvos and bring it back to Althen the Historian. So let's go ahead and run back over here, and I'll show you guys a little shortcut, a little secret shortcut we can take to get to whatever his name was. He's a little dwarf. He's a little dwarf ghosty. Commander Thalvos, was that his name? So if you come around this side here, we're gonna see him right here. He's chilling. He's just sitting there chilling. He's got some pretty cool armor on. You can usually fight him 1v1. Just try and avoid the other NPCs that I wouldn't say are flanking him, because they're not really near him at all. But yeah, here's Lieutenant Commander Thalvos. Let's go ahead and take care of him. He's got some pretty neat armor. Looks like he's got the... Actually, is that the dwarf? Is that the dwarf symbol? It might be. The Dwarven Ironforge symbol. Otherwise, I was going to say, it kind of looks like, you know what it kind of looks like? If we go to Scarlet Monastery. It does look a little bit like the Scarlet Crusade shield, but slightly different. It did have, that was, I'm pretty sure, the Ironforge symbol of the Dwarves of the Alliance. So let's go ahead and run back now to Spinebreaker Post, where we can turn it in again, and then there will be one final quest in this whole chain, in this whole Expedition Armory area. I was thinking, I definitely knew there were some other quests I was missing as a horde here. On the Alliance side, there is another quest similar to that one, where you don't have to kill Lieutenant Commander Thalvos, but you do have to kill, I believe there's a very specific mage mob within the walls of the Expedition Armory who has a specific name, kind of like Lieutenant Commander Thalvos, but not quite, that you have to kill as an alliance. But I knew there was one for the horde side as well. So he says, Althen the Historian says, "You have done well, Tylord. This ancient horn will allow us to summon the Unyielding. That is, if they are willing." So now we need to take the battle horn, the Unyielding battle horn. We need to come to this dilapidated, destroyed tower in the middle of everything. Haha, JK guys, we don't have to go over there to that dilapidated, destroyed tower at the Expedition Armory. We have to come over here to this little ruined Alliance tower with the Unyielding banner outside of Zethgar. We blow the horn, and even if there are mobs, which there usually are, bleeding hollow mobs here, we blow the horn, and guess what? We have to summon and kill this man, Erdtrak, with the Unyielding horn. So a bunch of these vengeful, unyielding ghost mobs will spawn in, and because they're vengeful, they want to take revenge on these bleeding hollow mobs. So they will kill the peon, but they will not help me kill Erdtrak. So we have to do that all by ourselves, and it's not that big of an issue because he's level 61 non-elite. So thank you very much. I will salute you, and I will head back to Spinebreaker Post. So I did go over to the wrong spot at the Expedition Armory, so that's my bad. But there is bloody vengeance. There it is. It is done now. We will turn it in. You might be wondering, my XP gains are being a little bit ridiculous right now, and I have an explanation for that. So now we have to report to Commander Hogarth, which is I thought we had to do before, but now we have to do that now. So let's head back over to Commander Hogarth. On this server, you can set your XP rates to whatever you want. So like XP 1, we'll set my gain rate to 1. I think there's a max limit of .xp3. Okay. So I think it's either 1 or 2. So I have it set now to 2. If you have it set to 2, but you also have rested experience like I do, it's technically an effective rate of ×4. So I'm just going to have it ×2. I was having it ×1 for a while, and I was kind of swapping back and forth between ×1 and ×2, but I think I'm just going to go with ×2 for now because Not that I want to try and get through the Outlands content as fast as possible, but I kind of do. I kind of want to get to 70 and then call it a day. We'll finish off this entire Let's Play series, and I'll be done with it once and for all. 5 years later. Isn't that great? So we can either choose between the blade or the rod of the Unyielding. The rod is a staff. It has slightly worse everything compared to the rod of the Voidcaller, so we're going to go with it anyway and just take it and sell it to a vendor for a lot of money. It might not be scripted, but usually I think what happens when you turn this quest in, if you're playing on like retail or if you're playing on a good server with good scripting, after you turn this quest in, this entire tower, destroyed tower, will be filled up with friendly, unyielding, vengeful, unyielding mobs. Like NPCs, not mobs, but like ghosts. Kind of like how we saw at the ruined Alliance battle tower. They should have summoned in there, and they would have all been like cheering and happy and like, yay, we did it. We revenged ourselves. Avenged, I guess is the word. And we put those ghostly mob spirits to rest. Or not, I don't know. So now we're all the way back here at the work fields again, and I think we just have to come over here and kill these mobs, these random mobs. I don't think we have to kill any specific type of Voidwalker mob over here. We need condensed Voidwalker essences for the quest of Voidwalkers Gone Wild. It would help if I read the quest text every now and then. Bring 10 condensed Voidwalker essences to Screaming Screed Lockheed at the Zeppelin crash. So there's no items. It's full of rogue and uncontrolled Voidwalkers, but I like to think of them as walking batteries. So we have to kill either type of mobs, the rogue mobs or the uncontrolled Voidwalker mobs, to collect the condensed Voidwalker essences. So I'm going to cut away now. I will do this off screen. I will hit 61 pretty soon, so I'll let you guys know when that happens. And I think the only thing that'll happen after that is I'll get another talent point, so huzzah. Otherwise, I will complete this quest off screen. I'll see you guys back over at the Zeppelin crash site where we can turn it in. Be right back. And ding dong, everybody, that is it. We have hit level 61 with that rogue Voidwalker. So we did get another talent point. Our hit points have gone up by 160. Our mana by 125. We gained 1 strength, 1 stam, 2 intellect, and 2 spirit. So very good stat gains at level 61 for sure. And I need to decide, I think I'm pretty much all set in the Shadow Tree. If I wanted to, I'm not following any sort of set, Shadow Tree's guide. And you can tell just by looking at my talents, because a lot of the PvE guides are more so for like raiding and dungeons, and I'm not doing any of that on this character. So really, I'm only specking into talents for questing. Now, since that's the case, I could go for something like Improved Vampiric Embrace will help my my self-healing, obviously, whenever I want to use it, which isn't too often. I could go for Improved Psychic Scream, which will reduce a cooldown by a total of 4 seconds, so it'll be a 26-second cooldown on that. But then after that, we could pick up Silence with a 45-second cooldown, which is actually silences the target, preventing them from casting spells for 5 seconds. That seems very useful. Otherwise, if I don't want either of those, I could start dumping my points into the Discipline tree. Now, usually with the Shadow spec, you want to have, yes, a certain number of points into the Shadow Tree, but then you also need to make sure you get Inner Focus and Meditation. Inner Focus, when activated, reduces the mana cost of your next spell by 100% and increases its critical strike chance by 25%, which is a good, it's a good combo to use, Inner Focus and then Mind Blast, or Inner Focus and Shadow Word Death, etc., etc. So I think I'm going to start dumping points into Discipline. Now, the better talent to grab is Unbreakable Will, which increases your chance to resist stun, fear, and silence effects by a total of 15%. Now, this is incredible for like PvP, but since we're not doing any PvP, we're going to go Wand Spec, which will increase our damage with wands by a total of 25% all is said and done. So let's go ahead and turn this quest in now. I think I'm going to pick up the Charm of Alacrity, which both of these trinkets are kind of meh. Charm of Alacrity, especially for a spellcaster, compared to what I already have that the game gave me, and also the Carrot on a Stick. Carrot on a Stick, which increases your mounted movement speed. But this is good for melee users for sure. Increases your dodge rating. So anybody that's getting hit by melee attacks more often than not, which spellcasters definitely are getting hit by melee attacks when you're fighting, mobs, but a bit less so than someone like a rogue or a warrior whose damage is also reliant upon melee attacks. You're constantly going to be in melee range. As with a priest, I try and, open fights, try and max range them, which for me would be 36-yard range. And then by the time they get to me to do any melee attacks, they're usually already at about half health. So that's my line of thinking right there. But I am going to cut away and meet you over at Falcon Watch, where we can turn this quest in, pick up all the other quests. There's going to be a million quests to pick up at Falcon Watch. And I'll probably end off this episode. I'm not entirely sure what the length is at, but it's probably getting a little long, so I'll see you guys over there. Alrighty, so here at Falcon Watch, in order to get all the way up to the top of that tower, if you don't have a flying mount, which I don't think you are able to until level 70 anyway, you're going to have to use this Orb of Translocation. And now we can go ahead and talk to the Ranger Captain Vinren, turn in the quest Falcon Watch, and he will give us a couple of follow-ups. Report to Zerai is actually a quest that's sending us over to Swamp Rat Post in Zangarmarsh, out and away from Hellfire Peninsula. So there are a few quests to pick up here, and when I say a few, I mean a whole truckload, a whole buttload. And there are some different vendors here and there throughout the city. It is what you would call a little Blood Elf settlement here, out here in the Outlands. And this quest right here, Valerian's Journal, this quest chain is probably one of my favorites to do in Hellfire Peninsula. It is a lot of fun. The last quest itself is quite the entertainment, I would say. So we've picked up every quest here we can. Now our logs are full. Our quest log is absolutely popping off now. But I'm going to end off this episode here. We're going to go ahead and rest here with underneath the canopy inside of the Falcon Watch Inn. So thanks for watching episode 36, guys. I really appreciate it. We're 61. Hopefully, maybe next episode we'll hit 62. I'm not 100% sure how many quests I can get done. But until then, as always, I hope y'all stay classy and peace out.